Hello everyone, welcome to week 5. First off, I want to apologize for the video coming out not on Friday, but it's probably going to come out, well actually it might come out late Friday or in the day on Saturday. Some stuff happened this week where I got delayed, I got called into work, and some other stuff, which is fine. I have no issues with any of it. I was happy to help out where I could. So it's just one of those weeks where unexpected stuff happens, so my progress isn't as good between homework and work. Um, when I say progress isn't as good, I mean I didn't get progress done earlier in the week so I could have the video edited and uploaded on time. And again, no big issue. I don't think you all are going to care, especially because this week, I don't know if you can see it, but we built the signal box, I'd say about 90% to completion. I'm about 100 cheese slopes short of finishing the roof, and then I'm still deciding what to do with the interior and some other stuff. Also, if you hear any background noise, that we have though I closed the door, the washer's running and the dry. It's a very busy day here at my house, so there's going to be some background noise probably. But let's just jump right in and we can talk about the signal box this week.
Hey everyone, we're starting off week 5 with the haul. I got in my parts from Lego Pick-a-Brick. Quite a lot of parts. I actually couldn't remember what I ordered. I knew I ordered some stuff for some side projects, all railway related, but nothing that's the station or Wellsworth directly. Unfortunately, one of these projects is done, and you might even see it before I get into all these parts here, but you can see I got some larger plates, which are actually for some freight cars. More nougat bricks for the station. I should have ordered in a lot more. Unfortunately, when I placed this order, I had only gotten just above the ground, like the inside station floor level. I didn't really put everything up and kind of go through saying, oh, I do need this many. So I only ordered like 600, 400 of these, somewhere between 4 and 600. I know not 5. I either ordered 400 or I ordered 600. I can't remember which. I know I ordered 400 of these. These will be for the signal box as well. These are also going to be used to make freight cars, 1 or 2 probably. I don't know how many I'm going to have left once the signal box is complete. More of these darker, neat dark stone gray bricks for ballast. Some cheese wedges for the signal box as well. What I noticed is the signal box, the wall, and the roof is the same color. There's a couple other colors in between, which is what you see in here. I got some green. You can see the earth green in there. That's for that. Orange is for a tank engine. This other kind of fiery, this color right here, I don't think it's the color I thought it was through Lego, so I just ordered in a few in a way to test if that's the color I wanted. Some slopes, which I don't think I'm going to need anymore. And just some other, I got these corner bricks here, which I might not need as many of them now from Pick-a-Brick. I can pick them up somewhere else. But yeah, thought I'd go ahead and start off this week with showing you that all the parts came in, and I'm really excited. So let's move on to the next part of the video. Moving on from the haul, this segment, I want to start on the signal box. And I say start because though I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of it done, I'm not going to be able to get all of it done. The roof, for a good example, I don't think I ordered in enough slopes to finish that up. And then secondly is the windows, the way they're framed, the way they're done. I don't have all the parts I need to do that, so I will be going through and looking for or ordering in the parts I need for the window frames and the roof. Otherwise, though, we'll probably be able to get it, what I would say, close to 90% done. I like the station. I'll do a slight interior, so obviously when you're viewing it from the outside, you can see it. Excuse me, you can see that there's stuff in there, but I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be like, all right, I'm going to put this in there, I'm going to put a little table. No, just enough to where, kind of like with this one, you see right next to you, is you can see like the signal levers and sort of the switch levers and whatnot. And that's, I think, all that needs to go on there. Which brings me to why I have this here. Initially, this is my signal box I've been working on for a while, and then I kind of just stopped. Initially, I'll be honest, I wanted to turn it into a Lego idea set signal box. However, I just got distracted with other stuff, and at the end of the day, I felt like
whatever I was going to create was going to be simple enough to where I don't think it really had a chance of winning the Lego ideas. So I'm not saying I gave up because I knew I wouldn't win. I'm just giving up the. Okay, so giving up, but I mean, basically, I'm not putting time into a build that its initial conception isn't going to really go all the way through, where I can do what I'm doing now. Like, I'm working on Wellsworth Station as a whole. Now I'm working on Wellsworth signal box. But if I were to sat down and grind to get this done, 100% accurate detail, which I probably still will. Don't get me wrong. This is still a build that's going to stay completed in my collection. I'll probably finish up. Or actually, what I might even do is I might just tear this down, and when Wellsworth's is done, finish off the interior a little bit and leave that. But I'm getting a little off track. As I said, I'm doing Wellsworth. What I ended up doing is actually building this footprint. And you'll be able to see. Sorry, I'm working on my desk, which I'm not used to doing. But it's the same exact size as this signal box, because this is the size I want to go with. This is the size the signal box is going to be. I think it's a good size. It might be a little small in compared to other stuff. It probably should be a little longer. But for my cases, for the space I have, I think it's fine. I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be a little taller, about the same size as the engines. Like I said, the only thing it probably could be is a little longer. But what I want to show you then is, I push that off to the side. My desk is actually pretty messy. I don't know what the lighting's going to be. Yeah, the lighting's going to be awful. So, there we go. So, Wellsworth signal box. You can see it's got this dark kind of red color, and wow, I'm watching my camera adjust, and it's not doing too hot. But we'll go ahead and see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Try to get rid of some of that glare. Nope, didn't. But, so this is obviously the signal box I'm going to recreate. I got what I'll be calling the medium stone gray down here, the new dark red, earth green, the signal box name, or the Wellsworth nameplate or sign is probably actually going to be the regular Lego green like Percy, unless I end up pulling some tiles out of somewhere that I didn't realize I had, but I've been kind of okay, because that way all my signs are the same color, and then as you can see, the roof is the same color as the wall of the signal box. So this is exactly what I'm going to try to recreate to some extent. I don't think it's going to be 100%, but it'll be pretty accurate. I thought I'd go ahead and show you what that's going to be, and then I'm going to go ahead and actually get started. I was debating about time-lapsing it. I don't think I will, just because I don't have a lot of space. Like, I have the camera right now backed up to the very edge of the desk, and I got stuff piled up on either side of me. So I'm going to go ahead, work on it a little bit, and then I'll show you where I'm at. I'll try to do a lot more as I build updates. So I'm going to get started. See you in a few seconds. Alright, so we're about 20-ish minutes in, probably more like 15, into the new signal box, and I've already made some slight changes to how I built the, we're going to call this one the white signal box, and then we'll call this the Wellsworth signal box. So a little different from how I built the white signal box, and that's kind of more of me learning kind of how I want to do it, as well as I did go about this differently, the Wellsworth one, a little bit. You'll notice I started with that footprint, where when you look at this signal box, yeah, you can see obviously there's no footprint. So basically what I did is, when you see up here, you can see this plate line. I essentially did that on the bottom, and then I ended up just for the ground, or the floor of the signal box, building that inside the outer perimeter. So that's where we stand for right now. Not bad. And the thing is, this is sitting on pretty well. I actually used 3 large plates to make this floor, which is really nice. It's going to be hold together really well, I think. Even when I go to put some stuff on, I can press on a little bit. The parts will connect, and I don't have to worry about breaking the parts. That's always my biggest fear, is when I'm doing something like this with a hollow interior, I'm building over something, I'll press and I'll crack. When I was working on the station, even before I started the building series, kind of just prototyping some stuff out, I actually cracked 1 or 2 of my parts, and
Their parts I don't have a lot of. I think I only have about 5 of the one part I cracked, and luckily the crack was tiny enough I could hang onto the part, and as long as I position it the right way, you're not going to know. Still connects. It's all good. But this is the very, I would call this the first chunk of the Wellsworth signal box from the ground up to the floor level. Like I said, since I'm not worried about the interior, I'm going to kind of go ahead and build up the next little bit of it. But we're reaching the point where I'm going to have to stop. I think, maybe not. I might be able to actually go through and build a little more than I think. But we're going to go ahead and continue. 2 more brick levels, then we'll go to the windows, and then we'll probably have another 2 brick levels before the where the roof will connect. So yeah, I'm just going to continue building. So I'm about, I'm getting pretty much done with the signal box, at least the body portion. Then I have the roof and all that. But as I'm putting it together, you can see how the windows look. This is how they look on the Lego model. This is how they are in the build. So what does this mean? I can't speak, I'm sorry. What does this mean? This means I have to, oh wow, that's really, okay, there we go. I'm going to actually have to widen this up 1 more on each side so I can get another row, 2 rows. Actually, I lied. I'm going to have to widen this up by 4, because that way I can get, I can get another glass panel, and I'm going to have to get 2 more of these earth green rows in. So that means I'm going to have to take this whole thing apart, mostly apart, and redo it, just because of how I have it built. I have the corners interlocking. If I built them wall segment by wall segment, kind of like as I'm doing with the station, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm going to have to pretty much start from scratch, tear it apart, start again. But that's the whole fun part about building Lego. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes I don't think about these things in advance. I should have, but you can kind of see where I was going with the signal box and how it looked. But I'm going to rip it all apart and build it all up again, and we'll see what it looks like after. So this is where we're at right now. I got pretty much all 4 walls up, and this is exactly where the roof is going to connect to. You can see down here, I've started the roof. I won't be able to finish it. I ordered in 200 of these cheese wedges. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. I probably should have taken this and mathed it out, but I went ahead and I actually made the build 4 studs wider than this build, which I'm actually really happy I went ahead and did. It's looking great. It's looking nice. We ended up getting these nice individual windows. Originally I wanted to do 2, so 4 stud wide window, but just the way all the spacing worked out, it was much better to go ahead and do this. And in a sense, it's almost more accurate because the 4 wide was almost too big. Like 3 wide probably would be okay, because I thought it would look a little bit weird that it's just big enough for someone to look out. But I think when you kind of put the roof on and everything, it's not on perfectly, but generically like that, it fits and it's gonna look really nice. Another thing I was worried about was too much red. I thought for sure, even though the picture, the stock image, the actual set piece that is the Wellsworth signal box, I want to say signal house, but signal box, is all pretty much all the dark red kind of color. I was worried it wasn't going to translate well into Lego. I don't have to worry about that. It looks great. Over here, the lighting, I will, pardon me, sorry it's late, but the lighting makes it look a little weird between, I think also having my iPad over here kind of affects the lighting and the how the camera perceives the light. So I will, before we close out the video, I will kind of place this into the mock where it's going to be, and it obviously, like I said, it won't be complete, but I'm going to put it there because we still have the roof left and we do have the ladder kind of getting up. The images I've found and the images and the link given to me by a follower or a viewer has given me the ability to go ahead and get more images, but the one thing that's still not really clear is the staircase up to here. I've looked at other Sodor signal boxes and I know what I'm going to do. Like, I had the idea in my head, although Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to have to change this up a little bit because I made it 4 wide. So initially, or 4 studs wider, so I was going to just pop this in. I was going to take out the 4 wide, put this right up against the edge. So I guess in a sense, I could just put this right up to the edge, not build a staircase and say, oh, well, the mock ends, but there would be a staircase right here. So I could kind of, if I'm feeling lazy, I could do that. What it'll probably come down to is the parts. If I could start to try to build one and I don't have the parts, mainly because getting it into the earth green, they just might not have the parts I need. So if that's the case, then I'll kind of probably do a cop-out and say, oh, well, the mock ends, and, sorry, something went off on my phone, and that's not part of the build. Or I'll push it in a little closer. I didn't want to, but I think it'll be okay if I move it in, 4 studs towards the center of the build. Let me go ahead. I'm going to finish up as much of this as I can, and then we'll go ahead and see what it looks like at its current status in the mock. Okay, so I've placed a signal box where I want to have it in the layout overall. So it's going to be, as I said, on the far left side. And I went ahead, I moved some plates around. I realized the space between the end of the platform and the parking lot, or car park as I believe they call it over there. And the signal box was a little bigger than I thought. So I was able to actually condense it down this way, towards the center of the mock. And I still have a little bit on the edge, so I might try to add in a small little bit of staircase or suggestion of a staircase up to the box later. The other thing is, too, since I'm not taking the mock anywhere, I don't even know if I want to... the door frame has no door on it, so I might kind of cop out for right now, just not do a door frame, or a door, but I don't know. That's just me kind of talking about trying to save a little bit of money and a little bit of time. Like, okay, if I can't find a door, I can either borrow it from a set or, you know what I mean. But I thought I'd actually go ahead because of the image I used is from the Percy Runs Away episode, and that's what I was using to reference. So I thought it'd be fun to show you with Percy next to the signal box. As I said a little bit earlier, I just got to do the back of the roof, and then structurally outside of the door, it's done. Then I just need the inside if I want to add a little bit on the inside, and the staircase if I want to add it. But otherwise, the signal box is pretty much done. So to complete that, it's not going to be its own separate video. I'll probably tack it on real fast saying, hey, I got my order in. And while we're working on, let's say we're working on the terrain back there, we're working on this building over here. Yeah, I'm getting ready for some Halloween stuff, so you'll notice I got some pumpkins and stuff around. I try to do something holiday related every year now. I started last year, so Halloween, and then towards the end of the year, I celebrate Christmas. So for me, when Christmas kind of comes around, I try to do a little Lego train that I set up in our living area. But back to Wellsworth. So when I go ahead and work on the main station building or the track or something else, I'll just quickly tack it on in that video saying, hey, this is what the single box looks like done. I think it looks great there. I'm glad I increased the size, especially when it stands alone, it looks better. On here, it almost looks a little too big when you can compare it to the station building. But I think the gap's going to be nice to where it's not going to be as noticeable. I think when we get the roof on the main station building and that's done, I think you're not really going to notice it as much. I think it'll all blend fine, and I'll have the platform, or not the platform, the the platform crossover, that's something for the pedestrians. I think once that's there, everything will kind of equal out in size and everything will flow well. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. I did actually want to talk about this while I'm here. I made some changes. I finished this off in here. So I ended up doing a staircase all the way up using those reference images I found, or I guess I was given, I was showed to the location of. I saw what the back of Wellsworth looks like. I completely forgot we saw it in one, maybe 2 episodes. And obviously with the kind of behind the scenes images and scaling, you see it. Really, as we go back over it, there's a staircase just outside the building. So in this part, kind of that, the roadway is a little staircase up. Well, because of the way Lego works and how I wanted to do it, I ended up taking some liberty. I just had the staircase going up. It takes about halfway. Sorry, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't really have anywhere I can move it right now. But halfway up, or halfway through the width of the building, and there. So I think it looks nice. Sorry for the shadow. It's just a really bad spot to show you. It's like in the middle of everything.
and it's an opening, so you get a shadow from pretty much everywhere. So I think that looks good. I did want to show you that because that is something else I did this week besides that. Otherwise, though, we're going to go ahead and end out the video because I think it's been a very successful week. See you in a couple minutes. So that was week 5. I know I think in that last little bit I said, hey, I'll see you in a couple minutes. Obviously, it's only been 2-3 seconds. That just, again, crazy week, as I said earlier in this video. But great progress. That signal box looks fantastic. Making it a little bigger, again, apologize for the background noise. Making it a little bigger was a great decision. I think it looks fantastic. On the mock, it's just great to see a completed or almost completed structure on the mock. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic to see this building. It's fantastic to see these express coaches, even all these kind of random engines I have throughout, just livening it up, and some figures on there just to kind of get a look at it, and the track. It looks great. It's all slowly coming together, slowly, but it looks great. I couldn't be happier with the outcome of the signal box, especially because my minimal use of parts. I only used, I want to say from the outside, we can see from the outside about 7 different parts. Obviously to the roof and some of the interior work it took a lot more, but when you're looking at it, you only see, a very limited selection of parts, and it's kind of going to be the same way when you look at the outside of the station buildings. I think for Lego wise it looks great. Obviously with the model, whether you make it out of plastic, paper mache, whatever, make a more solid structure like that, you have room for more detail and everything kind of flows a little better. But I just think this is great. I love it. I love looking at it on the mock. As you saw in the last little bit, I got Percy next to it, and by making it longer or wider, whatever you want, going from this to this, I think it looks phenomenal, especially with Percy next to it, as I was saying. What does this mean for next week? I don't know. Again, it's been very busy, very crazy. I'm finishing some stuff up with work right now I'm trying to get done, and then I got school. But we do get parts, and what does that mean? I think the track, trying to finish off or get more track done, is going to be my priority this week. So I will do a segment. It's probably going to be one of those hodgepodge segments where we're going to do a little bit of track, we're going to do a little bit of the station, we're going to do this and that, because I did get, you can see here, I got more parts for the main station building. So we might be able to get everything but the roof done, like outside wise, for this station and the cover. But I got in some of the parts I needed for the corner details. I got the parts in I needed for the body of the building, or wall. So we're going to go ahead and probably just kind of pick away at random stuff next week. The goal would be is when I get another order in, depending on the parts, say, okay, we're going to do just this thing this week, like with the signal box. I prefer to have weeks like this where we're just working on the signal box today, whether it gets done, whether it's not, we're on the signal box. Or like the other week when we worked on the station or we worked on the track. It's just one item, not, okay, well, I got some parts for this, some parts for this, I don't have enough to finish that, so let's just do these 2-3 things, and I just feel like I don't cover it as well. Now, obviously, we've already gone over the track, we've kind of gone over most of the station building, so I don't think we're missing out on much, or me just kind of, oh yeah, put 3 more sections of track together, I got another wall up on the building, yada, yada, yada. But overall, great progress. My goal is, because I did have someone ask me earlier through Instagram, they're like, hey, what's your timeline for this? My goal would be early December to the end of the year to get this completed. It comes down to when I can place my orders. On one hand, it's like, okay, let me just spend the money I need and get out of the way. The other thing is, like, you need to have money in your bank account, so if something happens, I'm safe. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm thinking after my next paycheck, with an S at the end, from both places I work, I'll be able to place a huge order. I think I'm going to place an order coming up, a smaller order, just so I can get parts flowing in, because that's another big problem I have. Do I order everything at once, or do I place a giant $200-$300 order, or I just order in like $100 worth of stuff? And okay, so I got these exact parts for this exact thing, let me order them more so I can move somewhere else. I'm always stuck between that, so leave your thoughts below if you think I should just small orders, get what I need, or just place like 4 or 5 big orders and be done with it. I'd like to get your input on it, especially if I do another building series, or just as I'm building other projects in general. As you've also been seeing throughout, I try Mondays to drop a video, whether it's, as I said, stuff going on. I don't know if you heard that alarm go off, but so I have the engines, or I have mini mocks, the Star Wars mini mocks, or whatever. So I try to have Monday and Fridays, Monday and Saturdays be my big days. The good news is the next few Mondays, I already have videos uploaded and scheduled on the system. So you're going to be getting a video every Monday for probably, I want to say, next 3 weeks ish. But yeah, just stay tuned. I really want to thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment, because you can comment now. Great to hear back from you about the signal box. I had a blast building it, and the idea of I could see it all come together at once. You know, it's coming together. It's there. You can see how this is going to look great. That's done. The walls, all 4 walls are up. It's just the roof, and I even got the front of the roof done, so I know exactly, pretty much from where I'm looking at it from here, is how I'm going to see it all the time. It looks great. It's just stickers to say Wellsworth along that sign is the only thing I have left to do that is going to be on the front that you can see. I'm going to stop rambling because I feel like I've rambled a lot through this ending segment. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit a like. If you didn't like the video, hit dislike. And since you can comment now, leave me a comment on your thoughts on this, or really anything else I've done. Since I've opened up comments and I don't have comments on the Thomas the Tank Engine character review videos, feel free on Building Wellsworth videos to comment about those builds, just because I know there's nowhere else to do that. Once again, I will see you in my next video.